I think Park students need to be curious, and naturally are, because curiosity is the root of storytelling.
When I think of curiosity, I think it's about pushing yourself.
If I don't try it, how am I gonna know? I definitely take that on when I'm in the studio.
To be a lifelong learner, it means always taking on new knowledge, and with that, you're able to keep evolving, and you can receive the gift of teaching as well, if you're always curious. I do competitive fencing in Singapore, so I have a little community in the fencing club here. When I'm here, I am more like a coach. I take what I learned from Singapore and I teach the fencers here, and as I teach them, I learn more as well. And when I go back to Singapore to train at my club, I get ego checked by all the national team players there.
I see an evolution of his work from what he did as a first semester student in my doc immersion class, and then as a senior in my doc workshop class, where he produced a work that screened in front of a full audience here at the Park Auditorium, but also screened in front of multiple alumni and faculty. The response was nearly ecstatic.
I am not a filmmaker that likes to focus on social issues. I like to go the opposite way. I like to make you smile. That is one thing I've learned in my doc studies program and with Professor Scott. By making a film like When I'm in the Water, what I wanted to give is that cozy blanket by the fireplace with a hot tea in hand kind of vibe.
They talk about almost the baptism of water. They talk all the time about being immersed in life, immersed in the pond.
We wanted to engage the hearts more than the mind.
My passion is designing and connecting with people and figuring out ways and strategies and social media tactics and engagement tactics that allow people who feel that they might not have a voice or they might not feel heard to have that opportunity. The whole point of advertising, PR, and marketing is collaboration. So just learning in my clubs and in my classes how to work with people, I think that is one of the best life skills to have.
What I love about Louis is that he really takes the time to make sure things are successful, and he's very much a leader when he gets involved.
Professor Cervenka has been one of the best professors I've ever had.
As a student, he is constantly making connections.
I never stop meeting people, but I also never stop growing the connections that I have with current people.
Over time, as we build that relationship, I begin to see those flickers of where they may be going. I can see that executive. I can see that person who's going to be on air. I can see that person who has a capacity to communicate in a really powerful way.
Welcome back to Big Red Face Off. I'm Cece Gabriel.
I really wanted to go into sports media. I realized that Ithaca was the right place for me to go because our athletics are absolutely amazing. There's always something going on in Bombers athletics. There are a lot of other schools that don't allow you to be on air in your first year. You have to wait till your junior, senior year. Ithaca provides you that opportunity to jump into it right away.
Let's take a look at the men's team.
My first interaction with CC came during our first day of Intro to Sports Media. Impressive would be an understatement.
She definitely cares about all of her students. Being at office hours, that's something that she's completely willing to do, and she's such a busy woman. I mean, she's in Philadelphia at trial, she's in New York, she's everywhere. I mean, she's just making an impact on everyone, not just on the current students here at Ithaca College, but also students that were here before.
I just can't say enough about just how wonderful of a person she is and the magnificent future that she has ahead.
Film has been my passion for the larger chunk of my life. Somewhere along the line, I realized, wow, I really like writing this story. I feel sort of the satisfaction that a filmmaker should feel once they've completed the entire project. I love going into the coffee shop, sort of people watching, and just, it's a very relaxing art form.
Julian really values writing these cool horror stories that use the horror genre to create themes that are existing in our real life, like family drama that is depicted through a demon or ghost story.
Horror is a genre that I think really just defines generations and defines societies more than any other genre. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff, and these are just like for the poster.
I've really seen how Julian has taken the initiatives.
It's probably a little too convoluted.
And has actually entered their work into a ton ton of competitions, festivals, and they've been winning and placing in really, really high level contests. And it's just fantastic to see.
College is the shortest amount of time that I think you will grow the most as a person.
Sometimes it's hard because failure happens, but I think in order to become a great leader, you have to realize that failure is one of those steps.
Although you might not know what you want to do, go your own road and have the courage to make your choice be the right choice.
Don't be afraid to try things. You can't narrow down what you don't like if you don't try a bunch of different things.